What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Beyond the Box Score for our deep dive into NFL Week 6. We've got a full slate of 12 games to break down, and there were some absolute shootouts and defensive battles that deserve a closer look. Let's get right into the analysis, starting with the game across the pond. The Broncos and Jets faced off in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with the line settling around Denver -7. On the surface, the Jets look like a mess, losing back-to-back games to the Dolphins and Cowboys. But here's the fascinating twist. Their offense is secretly moving the ball at an elite level. In those two losses, they averaged a staggering 7 yards per play. To put that in perspective, the Rams lead the entire NFL at 6.4 yards per play. Over Justin Fields' 3 full starts, the Jets would be leading the league in yards per play. So why are they losing? They are finding brutal ways to butcher drives with fumbles and penalties. When you match them up against Denver's defense, there are actually some intriguing angles. Fields has a great passer rating when blitzed and a solid 91.1 rating under pressure, which is relevant against Vance Joseph's blitz-happy scheme that leads the NFL in man coverage frequency. While Fields' 141.2 rating against man is on a tiny sample of 17 dropbacks, and Denver's run defense has allowed 4.4 yards per carry over their last 4, it suggests the Jets might move the chains more than people expect. The problem is, Denver's offense, ranked 23rd in success rate, isn't as bad as some think, and they face a Jets defense missing key linebackers. In the end, the Jets' self-destructive tendencies are hard to ignore, making the under at 44.5 the more compelling play in a game that could be uglier than the stats suggest. Next up, the Browns and Steelers in a classic AFC North showdown in Pittsburgh. The line moved to Pittsburgh -6, and the spot is absolutely brutal for Cleveland. They are flying back from London to face a division rival coming off a bye. The Browns' offense has been the worst in the NFL, ranking 32nd in success rate and 30th in EPA per play. While rookie Dillon Gabriel managed the game decently against Minnesota, he now faces a fully healthy Steelers defense for the first time all season, with Joey Porter and Alex Highsmith returning. Mike Tomlin's reported 26-6 record against rookie quarterbacks only adds to the defensive optimism. On the other side, the Steelers' offense has a tough task against Cleveland's stout defense, which ranks 7th in success rate. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has a dismal 39.0 passer rating under pressure, and Cleveland runs a ton of man coverage, which has been a historical weakness for him. However, with Cleveland's offensive struggles and the terrible situational spot, the Steelers' defense should be the story, making Pittsburgh -6 the pick. In the Cardinals vs. Colts game, the line exploded to Indianapolis 10 with the news that Kyler Murray is questionable with a foot injury. This is a nightmare scenario for an Arizona offense already missing its top 2 running backs. If Murray is hobbled or out, their 32nd ranked rushing attack becomes even less of a threat, making the job of Colts defensive coordinator Gus Bradley much easier. While the Colts' run defense has been suspect, Arizona's inability to run the ball negates that advantage. The Cardinals' defensive front, which started the season strong, is showing cracks, allowing 4.4 yards per carry in their last 2 games. Combine that with a secondary decimated by injuries, and this sets up perfectly for a Colts offense that, despite not looking as crisp lately, still averages 6 yards per play and a 54% success rate over its last 2 games. Jonathan Taylor should feast, and the Colts should win comfortably, making them a strong play even at this high number. The Rams and Ravens game held steady at Los Angeles -7.5, and it presents a glaring mismatch. The Ravens might have the worst defense in the league, ranking 29th in success rate and 30th in EPA per play. They are getting Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton back in the secondary, but their defensive front is a major issue. How will they stop a Rams rushing attack that has averaged 5.3 yards weeks? The Rams' offense ranks first in success rate, and with Baltimore's pass rush being one of the weakest, Matt Stafford should have all day to operate from a clean pocket. The Ravens' defense was just torched for 44 points and 7 yards per play by Houston. The Rams' offense is significantly better, especially at home, making the Rams minus 7.5 a confident selection. The Seahawks and Jaguars game saw the line flip, with Seattle now a minus 1-point favorite on the road. The Seahawks secondary is in crisis, likely playing without Riq Woolen, Julian Love, and Devin Witherspoon. However, their defensive front is healthy and has been elite against the run, ranking 5th in success rate. This is crucial because Jacksonville has been a run-first offense, though their efficiency has dipped to 4.5 yards per carry and a 37% success rate against tougher competition. With the Jags also missing their center, running the ball will be tough, putting the game on Trevor Lawrence's shoulders against a thin secondary. He's coming off his best game, but the Seahawks offense is a wagon, averaging 6.9 yards per play and over 33 points per game since week 1. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind with a passer rating over 133 in his last 3 games. While the cross-country travel is a concern for Seattle, their offensive firepower and defensive front make them the pick. In the Cowboys vs. Panthers game, the line sat at Dallas minus 3. The Cowboys' offense is riddled with injuries, but it didn't matter last week when they dropped 37 points and 7.6 yards per play on the Jets. The Panthers, however, are a surprising 2-0 at home, allowing only 12 points per game and 5.2 yards per play in Charlotte. The real story is the Cowboys' defense, which might be one of the worst in the league, ranking 31st in success rate and 32nd in EPA. In their last 3 games against the Giants, Jets, and Bears, they allowed 30 points per game and 7.4 yards per play. The Panthers' offense is a mess, missing 3 offensive line starters and both running backs, but they might not need to be great to score on this Dallas defense. This points to a higher scoring game, making the over 47.5 an attractive play. The Chargers and Dolphins game saw the line drop to Miami minus 4.5. Both teams are a mess, but the Chargers' offensive line is in crisis, missing both starting tackles, their 4th and 5th options on the depth chart. This is a disaster against a Dolphins defensive line with edge rushers like Chop Robinson and Bradley Chubb. Justin Herbert has a 73.4 passer rating over his last 3 games, feeling the pressure behind this patchwork line. While Miami's run defense is terrible, allowing 6.9 yards per carry, the Chargers are also missing their top 2 running backs. On the other side, the Dolphins' offense performs much better at home, averaging 27 points and 6.6 yards per play in their 2 games at Hard Rock Stadium. With the Chargers missing key defenders like Khalil Mack and Denzel Perryman, Miami should move the ball enough to cover. The Patriots and Saints game held at New England minus 3.5. The Patriots are riding high after a huge win in Buffalo, and their offense is quietly one of the most efficient in the league. Over their last 4 games, they average 28 points, 6.6 yards per play, and a 51% success rate. Drake May has been excellent, with a 124 passer rating. They face a Saints defense that blitzes often but is last in the league in time to pressure, meaning May should have a clean pocket. The Saints offense might find some success with a fully healthy offensive line, as Spencer Rattler played well in Buffalo under similar conditions, and the Patriots defense has a 54.1% success rate allowed in their last 2 games. However, the Patriots' offensive momentum and the Saints' defensive vulnerabilities make New England the side, though the number is getting tight. For the Titans and Raiders, the line moved to Tennessee minus 5, but the Raiders at plus 3.5 were the play. The Raiders' defense is strong, particularly against the run, and the Titans' offensive explosion last week felt more like the Cardinals collapsing than a true breakout. With the Raiders' defense capable of controlling the game, they were the value side. The 49ers and Bucs game is a puzzle at San Francisco minus 3. The 49ers impressed last week, while the Bucs might be in a letdown spot after a big win. Leaning towards the 49ers based on a talent discrepancy, but it's not a confident pick. The Bengals and Packers line jumped to Green Bay -15, which is a clear stay away. Finally, the Sunday night showdown between the Lions and Chiefs at Kansas City -2.5 is a fascinating tactical battle. The Lions are the slowest offense in the NFL in seconds between snaps, a strategy they employed in their big road win in Baltimore. They will look to grind the clock with long, sustained drives. The Chiefs will likely respond in kind, with Patrick Mahomes dinking and dunking against a Lions defense that is 28th in passer rating allowed on short passes. This sets up for a game of long, time-consuming possessions, making the under the compelling play in a game that could be a 22-20 type grind, even if both defenses have shown vulnerabilities this season. On the side, the line suggests the Chiefs are only about a point better than the Lions on a neutral field, which feels about right, making the Lions and the points a slight lean in what should be a coin flip game. That's a wrap on a wild Week 6. Remember, the market is always moving, so keep an eye out for those value lines as we look ahead to next week. Thanks for watching Beyond the Box Score.